Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. Who really cares about the soldier who dies in a war or is maimed or crippled? You see all these newscasts and they all talk about the strategies behind it. Behind war, behind whatever. 700,000 men died in Russia and injured majorly, minorly, whatever. Um, Terrible strain on society and all over Russia. The families, the sorrow, the hate, the bitterness. For what? National pride, because one guy wants it. The North Koreans come in there and do their thing. The problems in the Hezbollah and all the issues with Israel and Middle East and wherever conflict is. People really, they talk about the individual, they talk about the problem of care and concern and mercy, but who really thinks about or even talks about in any way that's reasonable about the care, the, the sorrow, the empathy towards the individual soldier, men primarily, women as well, the travesties that go on in war against the individual. I don't give a hoot about those generals. They don't. All they do is, push the war, push the sorrow, push the hate. If you have to fight, you have to fight. Understandably, that's not an issue here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, that the reality is war. But we the people, do we really care about the individual soldier, the person who's out there getting hurt and maimed and travesty after travesty, the mental oppression? There are concerns, of course. PTSD and all that is really important today. Wasn't when I was served. Who cared? I mean, there was some, mental treatment available and all that, but who cared? Nobody talked about it much. Talk about it a little more now, but in these foreign wars and whatever, nobody cares. They're subject of, you see all these movies, current television shows, they'll bring up people who have suffered from PTSD and all that. And the writers, it's part of the social fabric, but it's not a major part of the social fabric, which will turn the tide against this concept of war. This war is pathetic, it's sad, it's insane, it's a reality. There's no doubt about it. It's a reality. People, human race, whatever, want to go to war. For whatever reason. They want to fight. They want to die. They want to kill. But I think there's a background here that we have to change in some way. Yes, defend. Of course you have to defend. And the defense is usually physical. It's not just standing up there and say, oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, you have to fight. And who fights? There was a scene in the movie Patton where he's looking over the battlefield and he says, oh, what hell this is. What hell this is, but I love it so. And that's where the leaders come in. The leaders love it so. And there are troopies who just enjoy battle. There are. People want to carry weapons. People want to shoot. People want to control. People want to maim. Why? It's as individual as the number of people that are out there. But I think we have to change the ideas behind war. I think we have to change it. Become better people, better societies. We're not going to change the graft, the economics, the financial greed and all this if we don't change those fundamentals as well. Hate, greed and all that bring out the worst in people. There's a book called The Great Siege of Malta, and in it they talked about, this is back in 1565. People went to war back then as they, this is sword and spear and mace and, one-to-one personal contact. It's there today, but not as much. Today it's, drones and artillery and air power and bomb the hell out of somebody. But the maiming and the sorrow and the pain still continue. That doesn't change. The families are left without people, whether they're fathers or mothers or brothers, sisters, whatever they are. They're left without them. For whatever reason, for mostly no good reason. But we have to think about the individuals. The individual, myself, have to think about what we're doing. This is not a statement of don't serve. We have to serve. We have to do it. But we have to moderate our view of war. It is not glorious. There's no benefit in it other than the war machine that puts out artillery shells and everything else. These Kim Jong-uns and these Putins and whoever else goes into war, starts wars, wants to be the big guy and just use the resource, because that's what it is. It's just a resource, just a human resource that's used to achieve an end. And that's true. That's what armies are for. That's why they're developed. That's why they're cultivated. They're a political weapon, nothing else. Anyway, there's no answer to it. I don't promote an answer other than the one I've always used and will continue to use and continue to promote. Go to the good. The good is not war. The good is not the hell of war. The good is the good. Peaceful harmony, hope, dreams eternal in families, laughter at Christmas. There's not a lot of laughter in some of the Christmases around the world. Anywhere there's death because there's cause of war or physical problems or whatever. Sorrow is sorrow. But most of these casualties don't have to be. There's a change. We have to promote that change. We have to talk about it. It's a social change. It's not a governmental change. You don't vote this crap in. You change it ourselves. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. If you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the like button, whatever that does, and comment. Talk about it to each other through this video or anywhere else. You just have to cultivate the idea. And it's not good or bad. You have to have an army. You have to have protection. There's these Kim Jong-uns and these Putins out there that'll take advantage of us all. You can't be naive about that. But the attitude has to change across the globe. People have to be aware, and not just to protect their own economic benefit, but to protect the fabric of our society and think about those individuals, those soldiers, those people who serve on the ground, in the air, wherever they are. Not only their physical, but psychological impact, their moral, their spiritual, all these other issues that are impacting these people, where we could have a better society all around. Thanks for listening. Go to the good. Keep hope alive. And have a good week. Have a good New Year's. Keep hope alive.